In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another one of our live Q&As. We run this every Monday 12 p.m. and this is a space where you can answer every single gardening question you possibly have, and Chris is going to answer them. We have yet to see Chris not answer a question, so if you think you have a particularly tricky problem, comment it below and we'll see if maybe this is the question that confounds Chris. So yeah, any and all questions to do with gardening, whether it's a problem you're having with a plant, whether you want to know about winter flowering, anything like that, comment it below and we're going to answer it in real time, live and here. How are you doing today, Chris?
Good, thanks. Ready for a tough session of question and answers.
Very exciting. Also, if there's anyone in your life, any loved ones, any family, any friends that also have a gardening question, maybe they're just about to start a garden, maybe they're going to revamp, please let them know about our live Q&As here every Monday at 12.
You're busy?
Yeah, what did you need?
Some roses.
Some roses, okay. Could you, hold on a second, I'll get someone to help. This gentleman here needs some roses.
Sorry, we're just going to
Need
quickly
someone
help a
him with some
customer
roses.
here. We
Yeah,
are in store, so
Yeah.
this is bound to happen when we're running lives like
Yeah.
this. This is 100% live.
Hi, right, okay.
So, first question is from Angeline asking, I need fence line trees to block a view. It is a small courtyard area, 2 by 7 meter area, so something that is 3 to 4 meters high and not too wide. The area has kitchen water pipes also, so a little bit concerned about root systems, preferably evergreen poss flowers. Thank you.
Okay, I would consider a sky pencil holly because it's only a bush, it's not a tree. It grows 3.5 meters in height. It's evergreen, beautiful fine foliage, and it's very, very narrow. It's not going to get more than probably 40 centimeters wide. So sky pencil holly, tall and narrow, hardy, easy to grow. Put them close together and you'll make a beautiful evergreen wall. So sky pencil holly.
Amazing. Next question is from Anna, saying, hi, I just wanted to know if you will be stocking the double scoop bubble gum, I'm going to mispronounce this, acacia, this season or at all?
Echinacea.
Echinacea. Okay, there we go.
Echinacea. Yeah, we have them every year. They don't come in the store till probably late November through to mid-December. So if you watch out for them just before Christmas, or give me a yell. If I haven't got them, I'll get them in for you. Okay. So double scoop, and they're beautiful. The double scoop echinacea is a kind of like a big double flowering one. Really, really terrific.
Perfect. So yeah, keep a lookout out for that one, Anna. And then we get a question from Florence Nova, asking what is the best native to grow in a shady area that is a bit wet?
A bit wet. Really, it depends how big you want your native to grow. But what came to my mind immediately was a what do you call it? A hoop gardenia. A hoop gardenia, lovely lush green, yellow leaves, loves the shade, doesn't mind a bit of wet. Grows about 600 or 700 centimeters tall.
Amazing. Next question from Ray, asking how can we fight with rust issue in a geranium? They always have brown rust fungal issues under their leaves.
You'd have to use a fungicide. You'd need a fungicide for that, and unfortunately, like, you'd have to go somewhere pretty professional, somebody like E. Muir and Sons, and where you go if you really want to solve a bug problem with chemicals. E. Muir would be the best place in Melbourne to go to, and you'd buy something like something with a bit of zinc and that in it is going to knock your rust. So there'd be some sort of mancozeb or something like that would knock it. And if I had to do something like that, I'd go to E. Muir and Sons.
Yeah, let us know how you go with that, Ray. Hopefully that rust issue gets cleared right up. Next question from Lamia Rainbow. They say they love the look of your Chinese pink cedars, but are they super delicate? Like, can they handle wind and hot sun?
Yeah, look, they look like they're really, really delicate, but it's a very, very hardy tree. They're super soft and pink when they come out in spring, but they just get a good hard leaf on them as they go through summer and that, and they'll take wind, heat and sun. And in fact, they'd grow best in full sun.
Okay, that's good news then. Perfect. Yeah. Next question up is from Alex, asking that they are looking for some grevillea that have bright red flowers and grow to about 1 to 2 meters high.
What we might do is get someone to take a look and answer that a bit later. You get Watson to go down and choose a couple that would do that. Get Wayne to go down and choose a couple that will do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll circle back to that question. Emlyn, if you could get on that about getting someone to find a geranium, to find a grevillea that has bright red flowers and grows to about 1 to 2 meters high. I thought I would circle back, and Florence, if you are still with us, I see that you have another question. We did actually just upload a video to a lot of our channels, also YouTube, that's all about building a native garden. Me and Chris went and shot that last week, actually.
That's right,
It's got a lot of really great goodies. We will answer your question here now, but if you are really looking at starting a native garden, there's a really great YouTube video all about that. So Florence asks, what about a smaller shrub that's native for the shade and wet area?
Shade and wet area.
And it's smaller, a small shrub.
So wet. Something like, not really quite a shrub, but something like your native iris is only 30-35 centimetres tall with nice blue flowers. It's sort of wet and shade. You start to get into your kind of your grasses and bulbs and things like that, like your dianellas, which are strictly speaking not shrubs, but that would be more the way that you would go. Most native shrubs that I could think of really don't want a combination of shade and wet.
Yeah, because the ones that we looked at, like a Banksia honeypot, the Hakea,
yeah, all of those want a bit of good drainage.
Yeah, okay, that's a shame. Yeah,
but you can go for little dianellas, great in the shade, dianella, which is native grass, and also like your native iris is very good too.
Okay, some good options there still. Next question from Ray, is Wurtz the only real dwarf avocado? Is there any other real dwarf avocado variety?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And the reason being is that they don't have a dwarf avocado rootstock to graft it onto. So with citrus, you can get almost every citrus you've ever wanted, or every citrus you've ever known about, grafted onto a dwarf understock, so they can make them all into dwarfs. But because they don't have a dwarf avocado understock, they have no real true dwarf.
Do you think that's something that might happen in the next couple of
I'm
years
sure
in
there's
horticulture?
lots of people working madly on it, because everybody wants a dwarf avocado.
Oh yes, I do love an avocado myself, so that would be great to have one in the garden. Next question is yours truly. So they say I have a front yard. I assume I have a front yard which is basically covered in buffalo grass. I want to start a, sorry, we have the same problem, which is basically covered in buffalo grass. I want to start a garden without removing a lot of the grass. Can I do this and still have a nice flowering garden?
You'll find that right at the moment your buffalo grass is a bit yellow and it's kind of dormant, and if you were to spray it with Roundup, you probably wouldn't kill it. But in spring, as soon as it greens up, you can spray it with Roundup and you can kill the section that you sprayed, so you can kill it off. And so I would suggest that, and then it really wouldn't take much digging or anything, or you could almost add soil over the top of it and plant it up. So basically, I'd get your buffalo grass growing, spray it with Roundup, and then get rid of it and plant your garden.
Great, and you've got a nice flowering garden in no time.
Yeah.
Next question is from Sylvia, saying, I'm removing a very large maple tree, would like to replace it with a small evergreen tree. What are some good small evergreen trees, Chris?
Immediately to mind would be like a well, we did that video of the Irish strawberry tree just recently. That's a nice small evergreen.
It is out as well.
And that flower, it's either got flowers or berries on it for nearly the whole year, and it's a funny thing. It's considered to be slightly poisonous, so it's called Arbutus unida, which means only eat one. So
and Chris did in fact eat one strawberry.
I ate one, and
much to my concern.
Yeah, and what's good is one of them doesn't bowl you over, which is great. And but anyway, that's a very attractive and interesting tree. And then there's your lily of the valley tree, is a lovely small tree. And then there's things like the fairy magnolia, also a beautiful small tree. And then there's some really nice new native frangipanis, like the variegated native frangipani, which with a little bit of a prune could be kept really quite compact.
A lot of great options there. Next question is from Nell, saying, I like hostas plants, but have been told they won't survive Melbourne weather. What would be an alternative?
Hosta.
Yeah, I hope I've said that right. Hostas. Hostas.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hostas.
Do they struggle in the Melbourne weather, Chris?
Actually, let's just quickly Google that.
Oh, we might have finally gotten a question that's stumped Chris a little bit.
There we go, those things.
Yeah, that's what I thought it is, yeah. Okay, so hostas actually do fabulously in the Melbourne weather. My mum used to have quite a beautiful collection, and with people saying that they don't survive, it's a matter of having the right spot. My mum had a veranda that was facing east, so that we had a nice little bit of morning sun, and then from 11 o'clock onwards it was all shade. And so with that, a little bit of morning sun and then plenty of water, they like good potting mix, good fertiliser. But one of the best hosta nurseries is in Melbourne, and hostas, if you pick that right spot for them, you look after them, you've got to use a bit of snail bait. The snails and slugs go mad for them in the spring, but do everything right. And the other thing is hostas do die off in the winter, and so a lot of people think that they've lost their hosta, like they'll buy a beautiful hosta and it dies off as autumn comes and into winter, and they think they've lost it and they chuck it out. But basically, if you hang on to your hosta, it'll leaf back beautifully in the springtime. So hostas Fabulous in the Melbourne climate, but morning sun, afternoon shade, plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, and keep the slugs and snails off them.
Well, that's actually really good news for you then, Nella. You don't even need to look for an alternative. You can just get a hosta like you want.
Yeah.
Hi to you as well, Michael. Next question from Lamy a Rainbow. Do dwarf fruit trees tend to be less vigorous than full-size ones?
Yes, yeah, they do. What happens, you dwarf fruit trees, they have what's called a dwarfing understock. So what happens is that, say with your normal apple tree that you plant it grows onto a tree that grows 5 or 6 metres tall, or your normal peach or plum, all grow very, very big. But over the years, people have bred a plum and an apple and a nectarine. They've bred ones that have the understock to grow small, miniature cherries, and they've got small versions of all those different things, and they graft them onto it. And what you get is you get a less vigorous fruit tree. And what's interesting is that because they don't put quite as much vigour into growing branches and leaves, they tend to put a little bit more into fruiting. So a lot of your dwarf fruit trees are very, very heavy fruiters. And you see these days, you see a lot of orchardists, you're all planted up with dwarf fruit trees and covered in fruit. So your dwarf fruit tree, it's the same type of fruit tree, like it'll be, if they're doing a Jonathan apple, for instance, they'll do it on a dwarf understock. It's the same genetic, but going onto a different understock, and it tends to be more interested in fruiting than growing.
So that's actually a good thing then.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're getting more fruit for smaller sized tree.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Next question from Garden 28. I'm going to butcher this pronunciation. Do you sell Nasturtium Chilean Tropalium creeper? That's a bit of a mouthful. Nasturtium.
Could
Sorry.
you Google that for me, please, Emlyn? We'll go on to the next one. We'll come back to it.
All right, we got Emlyn on the Google. All right, we're going to bounce back to your question, Garden 28. So here we got a question from Bouncing Belly. Hey Chris, I want to screen out the neighbours' windows at the back. Ideally something fast growing, evergreen and dense that grows to 4 to 5 metres max. What would be your choice?
Okay, so if it was a nice sunny spot, I would like a weeping lily pilly. That's very, very fast, very tough, very easy to grow. Anyone can do it. And if it was a bit shady, which a lot of the people who when I look into the hedging and screening requirements these days, there's a lot of 2-story houses and things like that around. And if it was a bit shady, it would be a sweet viburnum. So a sweet viburnum, or for hot sun, a weeping lily pilly.
Perfect, some 2 really good options there. We also do have a YouTube playlist that's all about hedges and screens for stylish privacy is the name of the playlist on YouTube. So if you want to take a look there, I mean, these are the best options that Chris has given you now, but if you just want to have a little gander, a little look at some of the other options, we do have that YouTube playlist. Here, we're going to circle back to Garden 28 about the creeper. We've got a picture up there, Chris. So do we sell this plant?
We don't. I've not seen it before. It's a beautiful and interesting looking climber, and I can see why you would like to get it. What we'll do is that we have a computer program which lists most of the plants available for sale throughout Australia. I'll use that later on and see if I can locate it for you, but it's not something that we currently stock, but it's very, very beautiful and interesting, well worth finding.
Yeah, it is very exotic looking. Yeah, we're just working on trying to get the image up, so for those who aren't familiar with that can also take a look at it because it is very beautiful, very unique.
Yeah, it's a Bolivian nasturtium. Yeah.
There we go, take a look there, guys. Very interesting shaped flowers. So yeah, if you want to, Garden 28, if you also just want to send us an email, just because the problem with Instagram Lives is that it does disappear, so your comment is going to disappear and we're not going to be able to find you again. So if you want to shoot us an email, and then Chris will take a look at that registry that he mentioned and see if it's, even sold in Australia.
Now, Michael from Melton is saying, do we sell our plants physically or do we sell online? We're very much online. I think we've got about 15,000 different plant products listed online, probably the biggest range of any nursery in Australia listed online. So you can buy online, And the interesting thing is, if you spend over $300, you got free delivery to your house.
Yeah.
So you can go online, spend over $300, and you got free delivery to your house within a certain region.
And you didn't even have to leave your house. We do
Yeah.
obviously sell physically as well. We're at the nursery right now. We're here in Campbellfield. But yeah, we operate a lot online. We do a lot of sales online. So yeah, you don't need to drive out here. And even if you have any questions, you can just ring us up. So yeah, you could get all of your plants. You can even do a garden design online, which is, we offer it both in person and online. So you could do your garden design for free, you get your plants delivered for free. It's a whole great service. So moving on to the next question from Tanya. Are bare-rooted plants okay for novice gardeners?
I reckon they're great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because like at the moment, say for instance, there's 6-foot silver birch out there for $20. So you're a novice gardener. You don't want to have to spend a fortune on everything, and you can get things cheap, and like we've got instructions on how to plant your bare root. If you plant your bare root correctly, you've got a 99% chance of them growing, and it's kind of a very cheap and exciting way to get into gardening.
Yeah, and what's great about it is that it's also really easy to transport bare-rooted plants versus it being potted up and all big, and you have to have a whole kind of ordeal trying to get it back to your house.
Yeah, and we've got like a weeping cherry out there, about 4 to 5 foot tall, for $50.
Yeah.
Now that's fantastic. So if you just want to dip your toe in the water, you want a beautiful weeping cherry, but you don't want to spend a fortune, it's the way to feel your way into it.
So this is actually the best time to come down and get started into gardening. I am myself considering getting into gardening. Next question is from Jake, saying, is there anything they can do to save their Malay dwarf bamboo? It's all dying in the space of 3 months. Oh no.
If it's in a pot, bring it inside. Basically, your tropical bamboos, which I think your Malay one would be a tropical, do not survive in Melbourne winters. So you've really got to be a bit careful about which bamboos you buy. I really focus what we have in stock here. I really focus on the ones that do well in our climate.
Yeah, exactly.
So warmth.
Yep. Give it some heat, give it some love. Hopefully you can bring it back from the deathbed. Next question is Ray. Dwarf lemonade, I assume dwarf lemon. Oh, I heard lemons don't do well in Melbourne winters. Is that correct? What variety of lemons better suit Melbourne climate?
Okay, for the Melbourne climate, and that's like south of the Divide, the Department of Agriculture in about 1955 put out a bulletin on what lemons to grow and how to grow them in Melbourne. And basically they recommended that the number one lemon to have south of the Divide in Melbourne and all along the coast was the Eureka lemon. Now what you'll find with the Eureka lemon is that it's very, very hardy. It doesn't have too many thorns. It produces a good big sour lemon with plenty of juice in it. And not too much white pith in it, and it's a really good hardy lemon, and it's a little bit frost sensitive, but south of the Divide we're not too much worried about frost, so it's the lemon to have. And the great thing about your Eureka lemon is that it produces lemons. Once you've got a nice big established one, you can go out there any time of the year and you get yourself a couple of fresh lemons. So lemons all year round, and that's the great thing. No other lemon does that.
Incredible. Next question from yours truly. If we design the garden and buy the plants from you, will you plan it / do the landscaping for us too? Good question.
No, we've got people who are associated with us that do landscaping. And we can refer you to those people, but we could certainly supply the plants, and if you need help with the design, we can help you with the design.
Yeah, we don't do any landscaping ourselves. The kind of closest we get to that is that Chris will, if he's done a garden design for you, sometimes he'll come out and help with the layout of the plants. So that's just the positioning, not the physical planting. Yeah. All right. Now, next question is from Maria, saying, hi, I'm looking for some established trees to create some privacy between us and our neighbours. I want something that is not deciduous and cold hardy, as they live near Phillip Island, so the winter is quite cold and windy. We have some fruit trees near where these would go. What are some good established trees for privacy?
I would look at Photinia robusta, which is a very, very hardy evergreen with a fairly large leaf. I would look at something like your Leighton's green conifer. And they're ones that you can get big and they'll grow very quickly and really create really fast privacy. So that would probably be, in that sort of cooler type climate, they would be the best choices.
Yeah, perfect. Next question is our Aussie homestead. I have a 15-acre property and looking for assistance in plant selection for boundaries and paddocks suitable for clay waterlogged soil. Can you offer this service for open acreage properties?
Right, okay. I wonder whereabouts your property is, but sort of low-lying waterlogged soils. One of the best things is ulnus, ALNUS, and ulnus will withstand periodic flooding. They'll withstand periodic flooding, and they're really attractive. They can grow 5 meters in the first year that you plant them, so they're a fast-growing, attractive evergreen that will withstand periodic flooding in low-lying soils, and hard to beat them. But apart from that, you've got your willow trees, you've got some of your she oaks are very good for that sort of situation, and that'd be some of the. But your low-lying waterlogged kind of situation is a little bit difficult, and the very best tree for it is ulnus.
Okay, nice. And then we got a question from Ray. Do we sell any dwarf persimmon available? What is the best dwarf persimmon variety?
I've not seen a dwarf persimmon for sale actually. And the thing is that you can keep a persimmon down to a reasonable size by trimming it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the option is just to go with the regular dwarf persimmon and then keep it trimmed.
And the most popular persimmon that we stock is the Fuyu variety.
What makes it so popular?
What it is, you can pick it off the tree, crisp and fresh, and eat it straight away, and it's nice and sweet. Where some of the other varieties, you have to let them sort of decompose a little bit before they become sweet enough to eat.
Okay.
So it's something that can be eaten crisp and sweet straight off the tree.
Yeah, perfect. We are getting towards the end of our live. I think maybe we'll do 3 more questions before we end up.
Yep.
So if you do have any questions, please comment them now below. Look, if we don't get to your question, don't fret. Obviously, you can always call us or email us, but we do also run these Q&A lives every Monday, 12 p.m. Because if you do want your question answered live, then this is the best situation to be doing it in. So we have a question from UC asking, is the Michaela alba suitable in a backyard garden if there is easement also located there? How wide does the root system of the Michaela alba spread?
Okay, Michaela alba it just has a fibrous root system. It doesn't have big, heavy, deep tap roots or anything like that. It's going to spread about 1.8 meters wide, and and it's the sort of thing that's not going to cause a problem if you've got an easement. Like it doesn't have a terrible deep root system or anything like that. The main thing with an easement is that you have to accept that if they need to dig up the pipes, or they have the right to dig your tree up. But very often with easements, you could live there for 20 or 30 years and never see anybody coming and looking or doing anything with the easement. So I've only ever known one person in my life who had their easement dug up by the water board.
Okay, good.
So generally it means that you can grow whatever you like on the easement, and it's best to grow something that's not going to wreck the pipes, because then you're making them come around. You can grow whatever you like on the easement, just that the people who have the easement have the right to dig up your plants.
Okay, good to know. So last 2 questions, so do get in your comments now if there's anything pressing that you want answered. Our next question is from Erica, asking, do we sell native violets?
We certainly do. They're one of our most popular plants. And they're a great plant too. Like you can grow them in a shady corner or something like that, and they've got beautiful, luscious foliage with lovely little fine violets poking up in them. Really
that
great.
smell really good too. And Erica just asks, do you recommend them if I have my pets walk on them? She has 2 dogs.
I guess it would depend on. Basically, they're okay for light traffic, but heavy traffic, no. And I've got what I found to be very, very dog hardy is the Diamondia. I've got a big patch of Diamondia at my place, and dogs, the odd tractor wheel, whatever, fine. And native violet, I would reserve that just for very light traffic. So if I had little dogs and they occasionally pitter-pattered across my native violet, I'd be okay. But if I had some big dogs running up and down every day on it, I would not use it.
Okay, yep. Last question is, Tanya, do you have a service where you can come plant the plants from your nursery?
Almost. Almost.
Are we working on it? Is something in the works?
Oh, no. What I mean is we have lots of people come in and they say, oh, look, I want to buy 20 of those trees over there, but I need someone to plant them. And what we actually have here is we've got some young lads that are looking for weekend work, and they're people who do planting for me through the week, like planting my plants in the nursery, and so they're really good and skilled at that sort of work. And if somebody came in and said, I wanted 10 or 20 of these trees, and can somebody plant them, I'll hand out their name and number, and then you can contract them directly for some weekend work.
Okay, that sounds good.
So it's not actually our service that we offer, but it helps some of the lads that work for us get a bit of extra work, and it helps the customers get their plants planted professionally.
Sounds good on all ends. So we are going to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for coming down, for asking your questions and participating in our lives. Without you, we would have no live Q&A because there would be no Q for the A part.
Yeah.
So thank you for making the time. We run these, as I've said, every Monday, 12 p.m. They're not the only lives we run. We do a couple throughout the week on different topics where you can still ask questions, but it's more of a kind of lecture style where we teach you about different things, from best autumn color to a specific plant like Nandina's or Loropetalum. So we promote those on our socials. So if you're not following us, do go follow us. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, pretty much everywhere you can think of. And we do promote when and what we are going to be doing our lives about. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
In the morning sun, where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. Alright. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've Everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.